it's so great to have you here. Let me tell you a little bit about Usama before we begin. He was on the 2009 Saints Super Bowl team that just stole the hearts of the entire country and beat the Colts. I hear tremendous feedback. Um, and I refer to him as the iconic role model for kids. He is amazing. He has tremendous gift with kids. He has a very young spirit, but a very wise and old soul. And one of my favorite quotes that I've heard from Osama say is, hey, if you're having a bad day, go put a smile on somebody else's face because you'll feel really great quickly and you'll bless someone at the same time. So, Stephanie, I hear a lot of echoing. Is it coming through okay? All right, Usama, welcome.
Thank you, thank you. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad you brought up that quote because every now and then people forget that it's major to be a blessing to others.
I know. I mean, that's just who you are. It just inspired me so much when I first met you doing your interview. Is that your attitude? How do you have that attitude? Where did that come from?
I think it comes from my upbringing. My parents constantly reminded me how blessed I was, and and they always have taken care of me. They always have been a great supporting cast, and I mean now
Hmm.
I get to live it. I get to show how much I support others because I mean I'm in a profession where we strive on our fans support, and all the fans love us and we're trying to get this thing going now. So it's just one of those things where I'm at the point where I can give back, so I try and do it as much as possible.
Well, you're doing a lot of it. And before we get into that, why don't you just fill us in about what the lockout has been like for you personally? And what are your thoughts about moving forward?
I say personally, I've taken it and tried to be as productive as possible during the extended off season. I didn't expect it to last so long. I don't think anyone did, unless they were actually in the forefront. But me being a player, and along with some of my teammates and other coworkers, I talked to them, and they never expected it to go on this far. So I've spent it spending time with family, enjoying the vacation, but at the same time staying in shape and trying to do as much work inside of my foundation and other guys' foundations as possible.
Wow. Yeah, we're going to get into your foundation. I know you're doing a lot of work with helping a lot of children. But before we do, I think our viewers would like to know a little bit about your background. I mean, someone like
Hmm.
yourself that's so positive, people say, oh, he probably had an easy life, but you didn't have such an easy stretch. And one of the things that really impressed me, one of many, I should say, Usama, is is that when you were talking about when you were really little, around 4 or 5, and your parents had split up, and as a child, just like many other children, there was a part of you that felt like it was your fault, and that's one of the messages that you're bringing out to children that you speak to. Can you say a little bit about that?
Yeah, not immediately. Immediately, I didn't think it was my fault, but growing up and starting to understand the concept of divorce and everything, you start to think maybe it is your fault. You start to blame yourself, blame your other siblings, and you gotta straight up black that out and understand that once I started to mature, I understood that that was best for my family. We all moved on and continued on and pushed forward, and we're we're able to do some great things. So I think that that was a stressful period, but it could have gotten a lot worse.
Right, and I know you talked about how your parents kept that united front, which was wonderful. That must have made a huge difference.
It definitely did. Definitely did. My parents always were big big supporters of me, and they always push me to do extra. We came from humble beginnings. We didn't always have a lot to give, but we always found a way to give, whether it was going out and feeding the homeless or just picking up someone that needed a ride. I remember several times I was riding with my father, and someone was walking, a lady with a whole bunch of kids. We'd stop, pick her up, and take her to her house or take her wherever she needed to go. And it was just small things like that that were in my character, were instilled in me as a child, and I think now I try and do as much as possible for others that are in need.
And you do. I mean, I remember you talking about, when during season, Tuesdays are your days off, but you spend most of your Tuesdays out helping children in the community. And um, where do you get all your energy?
Oh man, I think I get it from like I said earlier, the fans. The fans, they're always there for us. And I have family that's always been there for me, and I think my folks, they wouldn't be happy if I just spent my time off just sitting around not doing anything, when I could be actually helping out and being productive on my day off. So I find it very, very important to go out and do something on those days, and several of my teammates do the same thing. We get together. Sometimes we got to push each other to do it. We got to say, hey, let's do this. Let's go out. Let's go out to the schools. Let's go out to do an appearance or something, man. We get out and we make the most out of it.
That's amazing. And you guys did so much for the community, right after Katrina, and it was such a healing for everybody in New Orleans. It was very touching.
Yeah, we had to. Just being in that situation, I still remember, walking off the field when I was leaving from the NFC Championship game. We had just beaten Minnesota, and you look up in the crowd, and everyone, it hit them that we're going to the Super Bowl. And in the first time in years, we're getting that opportunity. The Saints fans were getting that opportunity, and I saw people that I'm sure didn't know each other. They're hugging in the crowd. They're crying tears of joy, and I could do nothing but look at my teammates and understand what major effect we have on the city, and how we bring them so much happiness, so much joy, and they find hope in seeing us out there performing. So it's major for us to give back. You just got to. You can't avoid doing it in that city, and I'm sure other guys from other in other places feel the same. But it's something about New Orleans that's just special.
It is special, and the whole world thinks so as well. I just commend you for how much you contribute, and you remind me of that philosophy: is the more you're giving, the more you owe to the world, or the more you should take charge and give. And it just seems like the more you get, the more you give, Osama.
Right? Definitely, definitely. You reap what you sow, and I feel like my heart is in the right place when I do give. I don't want to. I don't give and think, oh, I'm gonna get this back, but I just give because I can, and I feel good doing it. Like you said earlier, being able to put a smile on someone's face, being able to make someone's day is major.
And can we talk about that a minute? Because there are so many people that are unhappy with everything that's going on in the world, including the economy. What could you say to them about that wonderful philosophy you have? And I got that from my mom too, so I really get it right down to my toenails. About how, about reaching out and putting a smile on someone else's face when they're not feeling so great. Can you speak to that a little bit?
I say, just thinking of how you can change someone's life or change someone first off their day. They could be having a bad day. Everything's going horribly. Thinking everyone's against them, and then you come out and you do something for them. You help them out in some kind of way. It doesn't have to be with money. It could just be with some type of assistance, showing that you care, and it does tremendous things for them. It shows them that everybody isn't against them. And I mean, I talk to kids on a regular basis, and you wouldn't understand some of the troubles that they have going on. And when they see an NFL player come out and talk to them and spend time with them and actually do it from the heart, it means so much to them. Because like you said, you don't know, or like I said earlier, you don't know what's going on at home or how things are at school. All you can deal with is what's going on right then and there. And I try and be positive with them and let them know that I do care.
And another thing that you do, and it's wonderful that you do that because you're so genuine, is I just always had this vision of you walking down the streets and seeing this crowd of kids just hanging out. And I remember you telling me some stories about how you're able to draw them out. Can you tell us about a little bit about that? Because I thought that was fascinating how you do that.
Yeah, I try and make it a point. If I'm at my home or if I'm anywhere, if I'm riding around or walking around New Orleans, and I do see kids not doing anything productive, I usually do go and have a word with them. I'll say something to them. I say one example in front of my house in Maryland. Every now and then, there's some kids that might be out in the corner or might just be standing around doing nothing. I go over and talk to them. I ask them what they're up to. I ask them what they were doing, how was school, if they went to school, because sometimes they don't go to school. But I tell, sometimes they know who I am, sometimes they don't. But I tell them that it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time being out here doing nothing. You want to be successful, you're gonna have to get to work. Have fun with your life at least. And just sitting around doing nothing is for the birds. So every now and then they hop on. They're like, oh yeah, you know what, you're right. And sometimes you get those negative responses from them, but for the most part, I get smiles and I get laughter, and they like, if they're smoking or something, I tell them, hey man, let that go. You're too young to do that. You're not even that you're too young. That's the worst habits you can have. Well, one of the worst habits you can have. Let that go because it leads to other things. So I try and just pass on some positive insight and let them know that I never did it. And for real, if you do want to get to that next level, it's just going to inhibit you from reaching it.
Absolutely, and it's great that you do that. And the other thing that I've heard you talk about is how you start to evoke the conversations where they start thinking about their interest or talking about their interest, and kids aren't really getting into those conversations enough in the world. Like sometimes remember you
Right,
saying that that was the first time they ever did that.
right, right. When I go in and talk to kids, I usually ask about their goals and ask what they want to do. And I don't know how many times after I talk to the kid, or after we're done with the group discussion, they come over individually and they tell me, man, I never even thought about a backup plan. My only goal was to get to the NFL. I didn't think about how many guys don't make it because we get tunnel vision as children, as adults. We get tunnel vision. We get locked into one thing and we move with it. We think it's just going to go smoothly, and that rarely happens. So as a kid, they need to be reminded often. One time is good, but to keep on reminding them that you gotta spread your seeds. Don't just put all your eggs in one basket. And I constantly do that. It's as cliche as it sounds. It's basic. It's simple, but it's one of those things that we forget on a regular basis.
We certainly do. We certainly do. And and to give our viewers a little insight to you as a kid, we have uploaded that video where you won that contest for the NFL. Everyone, was that 2008? Was that 2008,
Uh,
Usama?
that that was 2009. 2009. Yep.
Oh, 2009. Oh my, the Super Bowl one.
Yeah.
That's pretty. What a year you had that year, huh? Well, everyone, the
Nah.
NFL
Well.
puts a
Well. It was the.
contest
It
out
was
for
the.
players.
My bad. I was saying it was the 2008 2009 season. So we didn't get to the Super Bowl yet
Oh,
that year.
okay.
We got to the Super Bowl the following year. So
Oh,
yeah,
right, in
I got
2010. Yeah. So why don't you
you.
tell the viewers about the contest, and I'll run it for them so everybody can see it.
All right. Basically, it was a trailer outside of the Saints facility. They asked several guys to come in and tell a story, and the first story that I could think of was this Super Bowl commercial. Well, it wasn't the Super Bowl commercial at the time, but it was a childhood story that I was working with I was working with the FedEx Field with the Redskins and DC United soccer games and football games, and I was selling lemonade. They changed it up a little bit, but Eddie Murphy ended up playing myself in the commercial. I mean, Eddie Murphy's son ended up playing myself in the commercial, Christian Murphy, and we had a good time. My pops, he flew out to California. We did the filming and everything.
That's great. Let me just run it for everybody. Hold on. Hopefully this will work.
All right. I hope
You
so.
fired. Man, do we have to get into this right now? When Usama was a kid, I got him a job working as a snow cone vendor where the Redskins played. I don't know how you kept that job. You were terrible.
He would say that.
How about the time I had to go and get your job back because you were high stepping on the field?
And what were you doing on the field?
High stepping.
High stepping.
Making believe I was Deion Sanders.
You never gonna work your way up here.
I don't want to be up here. I want to be down there
Where?
on the field.
Wait till I tell your daddy.
I always dreamed I'd be playing in the NFL.
And now you are. It's a dream come true.
Hey, I decided if I worked hard enough, one day it'd happen. Keep dreaming, kid. And now I'm in the Super Bowl.
It's just a commercial, son. Now get me a snow cone.
That was great. That was great. Must have been so much fun to do that with your dad. Must have been so much fun to do that with your dad.
Oh yeah. While it was running, I told him they're playing the commercial, and he's like, "Man, that's gonna follow you your whole life." I was like, "Yeah, not just me, it's following him too." So it's a good commercial. We had a good time.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Now, I know your dad is really one of you really admire your dad. Tell us a little bit about your dad.
Well, Pops was there with me for my entire life. He constantly pushed me. He never let me just sit around the house and do nothing. Every season, whether it was football season, basketball season, baseball, track, I was into a sport, and he just kept me busy, and I know that kept me out of trouble. You know, as kids, if you don't have anything to do, you're usually gonna do something bad. So he had me playing football at an early age, and baseball and basketball, just following in my brother's paths, because I had all older brothers. So I followed them around, and I let them make a lot of mistakes, and I learned from their mistakes. And seeing them do things that they shouldn't be doing, I kind of stayed away from it. So I stayed away. I stayed out of trouble in a lot of instances, and a lot of circumstances. So, I mean, hey, it was just how it worked out. Little brother watching older brothers do the wrong thing, and I turned out all right. He's sitting here listening right now, so it's kind of funny.
Hey, tell him to say hi. Tell him to come into the window and say hi.
He said, "Come over, say hi, say hi." He's just waving over here. He's sitting back, chilling. Chilling.
Right.
How you doing?
Hi there. Love that video.
Oh yeah, she said she loved the video.
So another thing that you talked about was the B word. Tell the viewers about the B word.
Oh yeah, one thing that my parents did not let me say the B word. My mom, she was an advocate that the B word was a bad word, and I'm talking about bored. So she said that we're too intelligent, too smart to be bored, and we had so much going on and so much intellect that we could find something to do rather than be bored or sit around and do nothing. So she always had a book or something for us to read, and I remember being an avid reader when I was younger, and I still like to read, and it's just one of those things that kept me active. I think being active keeps you out of trouble as a child and also as an adult. So I try and do as much as possible, and never just sit around and do nothing and be the B word.
The B word, right. And what do you like to read, Usama?
I like nonfiction. I like nonfiction a lot. I read fictional stories and everything all throughout school, and I mean some nonfiction in school. But as of right now, I'm in a fictional book. I took it back. I'm reading one of the books that I read as a high school student. It's called The Alchemist, and I'm also in the middle of a couple books that I haven't finished. Uh,
Oh, I love
Malcolm
that book.
X, the what is it called? The reinvention of Malcolm X, and I like autobiographies, biographies, and books that give me some more insight on life.
That's great. That makes sense. That goes with your whole personality, because you're always striving and learning and growing. You have that hunger that you got from
Right.
your dad over there, right? And your mom.
Right, right. Oh yeah.
So, why don't you tell us about your wonderful foundation? You know, you have so many programs.
My
It's
found
really quite impressive. And you just go ahead.
my foundation is called the Usama Young Youth Foundation. It's built on starting after school programs in the DC metro area, DC, Maryland, Virginia, DMV area, and also in the New Orleans area where I play. We're kicking off. We're hoping to kick off the first after school program at Kettering Middle School, one in my hometown, this fall, and hopefully partnering up with big brothers, big sisters. But it's actually one of those things where I want to have different folks that I grew up with, different friends that I've met recently, and I've gone throughout this profession, throughout playing football, and I've gone and networked and having volunteers come in. Those guys that come in and mentor the kids after school will be the young and focused, and the folks that are getting mentored, the mentees, the kids, will be the young the young scholars. So my young and focused group will come in after
Oh, wow.
school and mentor, and the young scholars will be the mentees, and hopefully they'll instill some great values in the kids, and we'll get it going because it's
Wow.
perfect timing right now when after school programs are getting cut right and left, and the government, the economy isn't in the situation that we like it to be, but we can still get some great things going on to better the community. And I just had a summer camp that I finished with this past weekend. We had it. It was the third annual Stay Focused Weekend, what we named it. It's for the kids. We had some fundraisers going on, bowling. We had a little get together at an ice cream place, Rita's, and then we had the young and folk. I mean, I'm sorry, the Stay Focused football and cheer camp where several of my teammates came out and helped out. Several of the guys around the league came out and helped out. But we basically wanted to have the kids come out and enjoy some of the professional athletes and some of the young professionals that aren't in the football or basketball, just showing them about their career paths and what they did, and showing them that it is attainable.
Wow. That's incredible. And this was your third camp, third annual.
Yep. Yeah, the first year we started out with it was just football camp, and then I thought to myself, you know what, we need to get the girls involved. They need some guidance as well, and I talked to an NFL cheerleader, a longtime friend of mine who's now cheerleads and teaches, and she said, oh, she'll be happy to help out. So she came out with a group of her friends, and they got the girls together, did a routine at the end of the camp, and they talk girl talk where they talk about different things that females deal with, and I can't relate as much as her, so I let her take that by the horns, and I deal with the boys for the most part. I come. Yeah.
That's awesome that you include both. I mean, that must be such a thrill for the girls as well as the boys to be involved with that.
Yeah, I try to. I mean, growing up with all older brothers, it helped me a lot. But I have a younger sister who just graduated high school, and I talk to
Right.
her. I try and take her under my wing as much as possible. But it's one of those things where we have that that somewhat of a thin wall between us where she can't relate as much and I can't relate as much to her, but we still have that open thing for communication.
Right, I remember you talking about your tremendous bond that you have with your little sister. I was very touched by that.
Right. Mhm. Got to. She's doing great things. She's looking forward to going to college this year. She isn't doing the athletics, which I get on her about sometimes, but she's focused and she's taking care of business.
Oh, she'd have to be focused from your family, right? She'd be in big trouble if she wasn't.
Got to. We got to. Definitely.
So, where do you need help with your foundation?
Well, I brought it up. You know, you have the economy that's draining. People have so many jobs being lost, so many budget cuts, and you look for help where it comes to volunteers coming out to help out with the kids, and also you look for monetary help. So we take donations all the time. We had several fundraisers throughout this week, but you can go on to UsamaYoung28.com, get on there, click the donate button, or click the button. I think it says volunteers or however you want to help with the foundation, and write it up. We read it. We'll get back to you. We'll let you know, and look for help in any way.
Great. Well, I might be able to help you and get you some complimentary coaches to work with the kids. As a supplement to
Oh,
your
yeah.
programs. We'll have to talk about that. Yeah, that's a huge
All
part
right,
of
that
Insightful
sounds
Player
great.
coming
That sounds
up
great.
once the book is released. Yeah, we have a lot of wonderful coaches in
All right.
both areas, so we'll have to talk about that.
All right,
And
sounds
my
good to
goal
me.
is every child has a coach. Yeah, every child has a coach is what I'm driving for.
Oh yeah, cool. All right.
Yeah. So we'll have to talk about that. So anything else
All right.
that you want to leave with our guest? You have so much going on.
I'll say it's nonstop. I just finished the third Stay Focused weekend. I'm headed to New Orleans for the Essence Festival, where I will be in the convention center for their community outreach sessions. I have my own table. We'll be putting the Usama Young Youth Foundation out there where people can come, meet, find out what we're all about, and we'll go from there. Because the next spot is going to be in New Orleans. We're going to try and get some after-school things going there and keep the kids off the street.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, any lasting pearls of wisdom that you want to share with our viewers tonight? You have so many.
I say like I was about to say, I say the one that I always say to the kids: stay focused. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't achieve your dreams. Because hey, when it's all said and done, you're the only one that can hold you back. Remember that.
Absolutely, that's true. Well, thank you so much, Osama. We're going to have you on again. You're doing so much beautiful work in the world, and
All right.
I salute you. So,
Thank you. I salute you.
and
You're
we'll
doing
talk
some
about
great
the
things as
follow-up
well.
coaching.
I'm glad to be a part of it. All right,
Oh,
cool.
thank you. All right, have a good night. Say hi to Dad.
All right, have a good night. That.
Same to you.
Said same to you.
All right. Talk to you soon. Thank you.
All right. All right. Later. Thank you.
So, boy, Osama Young is some unbelievable human being. He's out there doing so much work, and he's so genuine, and he cares so much about helping kids. And it's such a treat to have him on the Insightful Player team. So go ahead and read his story at the website. I think you'll be really inspired. He's just really a really wonderful person. He's has such a young spirit, but such an old soul.